Well, forgot to put the mic in, unfortunately. So last video, terrible audio quality. But I'm rendering that video right now. So I figured I'd be on my DJ Cal and be like another one. And while that RBY game was going on, this game was going on Smog Tours as well, ADV OU. And this is between two high-level opponents, so I figured might as well get it to you. Not the best ADV OU player, so I'm gonna have some problems, fortunately. But well, by problems, I mean like it's probably not gonna be the best narration, but it's better than nothing at all. So, like I said, Veteran and Love versus McMeghan, two of the best ADV players out there right now. Again, old gens. So let's go ahead, get it. Why is the music on? Get this out of here. And then we're gonna put it on really slow because I'm slow. So Mintz versus Kuhn. Mintz has to get out of there because of the threat of Ice Beam, and even then, unless it's like CP Mintz, Kuhn will probably beat it anyway. We see Bliss from Veteran and Love though, so he doesn't really have to worry about Kuhn unless this is like sub CM Roar, in which case it doesn't have Ice Beam, so maybe Mintz can do something against it in that case, but probably not. The likelihood of that happening though is unlikely, as we see McMeghan immediately switch to Porygon 2. And Suicune plus Porygon 2, from my understanding, usually indicates like specially based CM offense. Like these teams usually have like Suicune, Rachi, Raikou, Celebi, maybe Zapdos on there. Regice is usually very common because it's a lure to it's a quote unquote lure to Blissey and helps get around that. However, we see Veteran and Love looking like he's running full-on stall with the Fortress revealed, and this is definitely bad for McMeghan because these specially based CM teams, while they do good versus the typical offense teams versus stall, it's not that good. Again, this is just from my understanding, so you can post in the comments my understanding of ADV is 100% wrong. That's cool. But we see Rachi come in. Rachi has Fire Punch, so that's probably why. Fortress can get up a free spike though, and these teams usually don't carry a Rapid Spinner unless it's Starmie. But the likelihood of that is very minimal because we see lead Kuhn. And lead two bulky waters on these types of teams usually don't happen. So if we have Fortress gets spiked down for free, Celebi comes in, and Celebi is very bulky, so even like offensive Jirachi's like Fire Punch, I think after Leech Seed recovery still isn't a 2 kill. Leech Seed and leftovers, that is. And this Rachi is, yeah, it's only does like 47%. I don't know what variant of Jirachi that is, because like I said, I'm not an ADV OU player, so that could be offensive Jirachi, could be defensive Jirachi, I don't know. I think offensive would do a little more, so the Jirachi at least has some investment. And like we see right there, Regice is going to be what comes in on Celebi. So we see Regice revealed, so it's pretty much looking like McMeghan has some sort of special offensive team. And then with Celebi revealed too, it's, if it wasn't confirmed already, it is now, that Veteran and Love is running stall. So we see substitute, so is this like sub pass, sub seed? Okay, Subseed, not that common from my understanding, but definitely annoying. And we see HP Fire from Regice. That'll hit Fortress, and I guess Skarmory too, but mainly Fortress, because Fortress is definitely annoying for McMeghan's team, at least the way it looks. I mean, I guess like Zapdos or whatever he is, or Raikou, same thing, like. Well, not the same thing exactly, but you know what I mean. Electric type, legendary, stuff that the noobs complain about. Pretty much the same thing. So we see Raikou in here now, maybe predicting Blissey switch, Men's switch. No, none of those make any sense. Why would he do that? I don't know. There's probably some sort of ADV thing that I don't get. Maybe he's trying to set up maybe he's trying to take the opportunity to set up a sub because it's sub seed Celebi, so Raikou can get the substitute up and start setting up some calm minds. That makes sense. Okay. So now we're back on track as McMeghan can start setting up some calm minds. Celebi can't really do much in here. However, Celebi has access to Baton Pass. And it's Subseed Baton Pass. And that's really unusual. But it looks like it's going to be really good against McMeghan's team, especially with the spike support that the Fortress can lay down for free pretty much at any time on P2. It can't do it on the Regice though, because McMeghan is smartly carrying HP Fire Regice. Maybe even on the Coon too, depending on whether the Coon has to have Hydro Pump because it's lead Coon. And if it's at like, well, no, if it's Modest Coon, never mind. What am I saying? But this Balissi is behind a sub, and this is like sub CM Balissi. Imagine how scary that would be. Those huge subs, but this sub is still a big sub, but it's not that big. So do we see a Dougie here maybe? I'm pretty sure that Balissi was behind his sub. So we see Veteran and Love go back to Celebi though. Doesn't go to Dougie. I thought that's maybe why he would switch out there to try and trap the Jirachi. But he just goes to Celebi, I guess, not wanting Jirachi to wish up and be annoying, and maybe taking the opportunity to get a Leech Seed off and try and heal his own Celebi, which I guess is just as respectable of a play. So I'm going to put the speed up just a little bit just because we have stall here, as you can see, so the game's going to be really fat. So it's going to go a little bit fast, but yeah, it's just going to be Celebi doing its thing. Jirachi's setting up as McMeghan's trying to use his offense to power through and just set up a bunch of calm minds. However, once again, you have Balissi with a sub and you have Jirachi leech seeded. So maybe that was his whole ploy, was he just wanted to get the Jirachi leech seeded so it couldn't set up calm minds for free. And then the leech seed will wear on the Jirachi while the calm minds are there. So now that play is making even more sense now. Hold on, I'm gonna change the position that I'm sitting because my back is starting to fucking hurt, but hopefully it doesn't bother you guys too much, but it's whatever. So we just got a CMR. I'm gonna put the speed up to maximum speed. So how's your day going? I'm just kidding. This is basically whoever crits you first. Even then, with this Leech Seed, though, this benefits Veteran and Love because McMeghan's Jirachi has to recover constantly, as opposed to the Veteran and Love Balissi, which doesn't have to recover as frequently. Plus, look at that Fire Punch, 7.5. It does get the burn, though, doing more with burn than he is with the actual damage. However, Thunderbolt pair could potentially be very bad. They're both at +6, though, so this is typically how McMeghan's team plays against stall, I guess. And then again, once again, from what I understand, Veteran and Love is not very well known for being a stall player. So maybe that's why McMeghan felt comfortable bringing this team. But this Balissi, like Balissi plus Fortress plus Subseed Celebi, just looks like it beats McMeghan straight up. I mean, he has the Regice there, but obviously Regice can get taken advantage in other ways. Pause, but oh my god, dude. But yeah, especially now with this Leech Seed, Jirachi just has to keep pushing up, and that's good for Veteran and Love because the more you can prevent Jirachi from actually attacking you, the higher your crit chances, the less his crit chances. The Jirachi getting parried could potentially be good because you could get that fast crit to win the CM more. You also, like, you just burn it out of wishes, so Jirachi's recovery becomes more and more minimal, especially because you're doing more to him than he's doing to you. He has Psychic as his other move, so trying to get some drops, but it doesn't work out because T-Bolt ends up getting the crit there. With all those turns there, that was bound to happen. And then McMeghan goes to Dougie. Dougie's not going to do the job because since this is CM Balissi, it's probably got a lot of defense investment. However, the Balissi is really low, so that's usually pretty good. I guess the Raikou can KO from there. Actually, I'm gonna put it back on slow. Hold on. Let me just pause and sort of backtrack a little bit. Last turn. Alright, so yeah, like I said, Dougie comes in here. Dougie's gonna go down, but Blissey's gonna take a bunch of damage. And Raikou comes in here. It's actually really interesting because Raikou is not that powerful unboosted, especially because you don't have anything like Specs or I think Magnet exists in this gen, but it's not very good on Raikou, especially because things like Volt Switch don't exist. So it's like, well, what do you do here? Like, are you gonna actually be able to KO a 3% Raikou? And I think BKC on his narration with his team actually calced it in like 2% or something was the min. It was like 2 or 3%, so it might actually have been a roll, but Veteran in Love decides to save the Blissey. And normally a low health Blissey like that really isn't going to get the opportunity to soft boiled up, especially versus this team. But if he can get it in behind a substitute from Celebi and then soft boiled up, that'll actually be really, really good. And McMeghan will just have lost his Dougie for nothing, so Veteran in Love is still looking in a very strong position. One of Veteran in Love's last two mons is, when I was watching the game live, I thought it was going to be just Bulky Water, Suicune, Swampert, Melodic, more than likely Pert though, because it's pretty much the best of the three as far as utility is concerned, and then a Duck Trio. BKC squad though thought it was T-Tar, which I guess makes more sense than a Doug Trio, but that's just what I was thinking was Dougie. And then yeah, we see Pert come out there on Raikou. HP Ice is highly unlikely, so but because the Pert can come in here and it's at full health, it can still take an HP Grasp. But the reason why I say HP Ice is unlikely is let me scroll up here really quickly. Suicune reveal Ice Beam. I already know it did not. Okay, so I was gonna say Suicune revealed Ice Beam, but it actually didn't, so I'm stupid. But he has Regice, and he has Dougie as well, so I don't think that the Raikou is gonna be HP Ice. I think it's gonna be, well, actually, what does that mean? Oh yeah, well, trapping Celebi, so yeah. Trapping Celebi in theory, at least. Now Celebi can't be trapped, and then we actually do see Ice Beam right there. So speaking of Ice Beam, we see it from the McMeghan, so it's probably just offensive CM, Ice Beam, Hydro, and then I don't know what else it would carry. Roar, Rest, I don't know. HP Grass maybe to hit Pert or something. Yeah, HP Grass makes the most sense, just seeing him 3 attacks if it's not going to be Roar. But Crit Hydro comes in and Pert goes down, so McMeghan is sort of getting some momentum back. Once again, just CMing up and then trying to do as much damage as possible. Because of the way ADV mechanics work, Veteran in Love is going to get a little bit of HP here. Hold on, someone's making noise outside. Pause real quick. Alright, sorry about that, friends, but I was just paranoid for a second. But, yeah, we get Celebi in here. Takes advantage of the situation to get a little more HP. Celebi's faster, though, so can recover up and still take the Ice Beam. However, the momentum's definitely swinging back in McMeghan's favor, especially because it's seen Ice Beam, so Ments can't come in. However, the HP, I guess, is low enough to be taken out on the powered Suicune, so McMeghan decides to switch to the Raikou. And I'm guessing Celebi either recovers or we see like a Blissey or something. Or no, we see Substitute. That makes the most sense. I'll just sub down for a little bit, get a little more HP, and then maybe see the switch. So now Celebi's behind a sub. So that works out for McMeghan. Oh, gotta move again because I'm got out of my spot. So now Celebi can just baton pass. So we see sub Leech Seed, baton pass, recover. So Celebi actually doesn't have any attacking moves. So that's good for McMeghan to learn or to know for the future. And the Raikou is not Leech Seeded. Smart play though, because Raikou could have easily have subbed. However, Blissey's going to be able to get in here and soft boiled. So like I mentioned earlier, Veteran love passing a sub to Blissey and Blissey being able to soft boil while it's behind a sub. Well, that situation occurred. So now Blissey's back and kicking, and it pretty much looks like the only way that McMeghan's going to be able to beat Blissey, because it's a CM variant, is going to be an explosion from Regice. And once again, we're back to this Calm Mind War. I'm gonna put the speed back on fast, because all it's just gonna be is them just CMing to +6, because this is what happens in this tier, and then just move on from there. So we'll just see what happens. So since the Raikou is faster and it has pressure, it's probably in a better situation here. And he has substitute, so he can take advantage of that. However, Blissey's just really fat, and untimely crit could be bad too. But the situation is in theory in McMeghan's favor because of pressure and all that. The T-bolts are going around, so Blissey doesn't look like it has Ice Beam. Normally they carry Bolt Beam or like T-Bolt Flamethrower, and yeah, there's the Ice Beam. So maybe, I don't know, maybe Veteran Love just didn't feel like going for the Ice Beam, but it's just minor little details, doesn't really matter on the outcome of the game. So basically at this point, McMeghan just needs to use pressure to force Blissey to use more soft boileds. However, Blissey comes out of the situation on top unless Raikou gets a crit, because of the fact that Blissey's fat and he's doing enough damage to Raikou to where it looks like another Ice Beam will take it out. If we see Para, could we get a Para full Para? Nope. And the Ice Beam's going to go down. And McMeghan did not get the critical that he needed, so Regice comes in and McMeghan makes the ballsiest play ever, and it looks like he has to explode there, but he decides to just go for the HP fire, and Veteran Love's like, well, damn, low. But like, that was like McMeghan, that was really the play that he had to make just to stay in the game, because if he loses Regice, then Fortress and Celebi and all them just are annoying, and then again we still don't know what Veteran Love's last is. Well, Veteran Love had to switch too, not just McMeghan, but Veteran Love had to switch too, because without Blissey, assuming that his last is, in my opinion, Dugtrio, then Suicune could be a problem. We see Thunder. My god, dude. That's basically like a poor man's version of double stat. Well, not necessarily a poor man's version, but it's like, it's just like you could run double status, but it's like, well, I want to hit bulky waters too, even though I have toxic. But I don't know. I guess it's actually a thing apparently, like not just some run of the mill, like, well, not run of the mill innovation, but like random, like on the street innovation. It's an actual thing. Thunder P2, and we got the toxic on Blissey, so Blissey's on a timer now. So I can't stay in here forever. It's only a +1 though. And we got Fortress in here. McMeghan predicts accordingly, goes to Regice, and then just goes for Ice Beam. Fortress is very low there, so it doesn't really matter. I wonder if he needs a freeze. I think a freeze is, well, even then Blissey just has natural cure and can just switch out and then be alright. So yeah, I don't really see how McMeghan can break through Blissey without exploding on it, like I said earlier. Especially when he has, well, Fortress is low though, that's the thing, because McMeghan made that play, so he's still in it. I mean, Blissey's still a problem, but if Veteran Love loses Blissey, McMeghan's a problem. And then, yeah, I'm guessing he's just Ice Beam, HP Fire, Explosion, and then Rest, maybe, or Focus Punch. Well, no. If it was Focus Punch, he'd definitely be using it to hit Blissey right there. But, oh yeah, McMeghan explodes to get the damn. Oh my god. Alright, so I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna pause the video and sort of break down what went on. So, like I said, wait, why is it going back that far? Okay, so turn 75. The McMeghan Regice uses HP Fire as Blissey comes in. I'm gonna slow it down. Blissey CMs and Explosion goes off. McMeghan realizes that Veteran and Love's last Mon has to basically be Dugtrio or Tyranitar, one of those two. Tyranitar is probably more likely now that I think about it, just because you can run some like Roar Set and take advantage of spikes. But I think Dougie on stall is very strong, especially with spikes before, because things just get even more weakened and Dugtrio takes advantage of that. But that's besides the point. But yeah, so McMeghan realizes that Veteran and Love can't deal with Suicune plus P2 that well once Blissey goes down, because Celebi's low. The Suicune has Ice Beam, so Mence can't deal with it. And Dougie can't really deal with it because of P2. So he needs Blissey, but McMeghan can just explode. Veteran and Love predicts not accordingly and decides to just see him up, I guess expecting McMeghan either to conserve the Regice's boom, or maybe he doesn't have it. And now Blissey is very low, but Blissey's at +1. And that Calm Mind was very important. So now he goes to Suicune. Suicune's probably modest. So with lefties going off, also should be noted that this entire game there was no T-Tar sighting thus far. Like I said, Veteran Love's last Mon has a very high chance of being T-Tar. Just something to notice. But like, because of that, a little bit of leftovers. And leftovers is very key in ADV, especially because of the fact that Sandstorm exists to normally negate it. Because the leftovers was not negated by Sandstorm, it goes off there, and it actually makes the difference, as Hydro Pump only does 13%, as opposed to the 16% that it needed to do to actually KO Blissey. So that just shows how fat Blissey is at +1, and why CM offense hasn't really been that popular since the invention of CM Blissey, or at least since CM Blissey was popular. Like I said, I don't think it should necessarily discredit McMeghan because of the fact that Veteran and Love isn't known to be using CM Blissey or Stall in general, and his team really just shat on McMeghan's team. But Veteran and Love played that extremely well, especially with the way he used subs to pass it to Blissey to just get it, so it could use Soft Boil and just get back to more HP. And then McMeghan also played about as well as he could, but that matchup was very rough, very, very rough on McMeghan's behalf. But still a pretty solid ADV game, even if it was a 5-0. Like I said, both players played pretty well, and CM Blissey's been kind of dying off at Blissey in general and Stall in general because of how offensive, especially how physically oriented ADV's been going, at least once again from how I see things. And seeing a Stall team with CM Blissey be able to win in that fashion is pretty impressive. Like I said, granted, it's versus a playstyle that it does very well against, but still, that's just the cycle of the metagame goes. So congratulations to Veteran and Love. McMeghan, though, will probably be good come week 2. Because he's McMeghan and McMeghan is McMeghan. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed, and yeah, later, friends.